Hello, John Bloodworth Gentleman Crafter here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use Hatch embroidery digitizing software to create this greetings card design. So this is the design that I'm going to show you how to make today. It's very simple, and it basically works by digitizing each area in a different way. So let's make a start. I've got a fresh hoop ready here. I've set my embroidery machine, my hoop size and measurements. I now want to get the artwork in, so go up to the artwork button, select Love Heart Banner, EPS, and insert that into the document. I will then lock it in place so that it doesn't move. The next thing that I want to do is create this background, the stippled background. So I'm going to digitize a circle. I'll start the center of it roughly in the center of the design. Drag it out, click again, and then drag up and click to set in place. Then press enter to set that. Now I hadn't set any of the stitch detail before I actually digitized that oval, so I'm going to change that now. I want that to be a stipple single run, and I would like that to be, let's go for 0.089. I'll leave that as it is. The inset step I'll go as 2. And then these two stitch settings I will leave as they are. Not sure, let's see if run count makes a difference. It's just going to solidify that, so I think I'll leave it as it was. I'm going to give that a grey colour, and I'm just choosing from the Hatch defaults down here. I can always change those later to the thread palette that I've got. Next up I want to digitize the heart. So to get rid of or hide this background, just going to right click in the sequence palette on the background and choose hide selected. Then I can see better the actual heart. I'm going to zoom in so that I get a good view of that. Now I'm going to try and set my stitch design before I start. So we're going to go for tatami. I'll come back and make some changes to the settings once everything's in place. But for this, I'm going to do a digitized closed shape. Right click to start at the V of the heart. Sorry, left click to start. And then right click around the curves. Fairly evenly spaced so that that curve follows the design. And then when I get to the bottom of the heart, left click for a straight point, and then all the way back up the right hand side. And when I get to the end, left click and enter to set that in place. So I have the heart, but I want to change a couple of things about it. Let's take a look. I'm going to change the stitch spacing a little bit. Going to turn on the travel on edge and reduce the length just a fraction. Now I'm going to go into effects and turn on the Florentine effect. Go to reshape and then just bring that down a little bit and possibly in a little bit as well. I'm going to give that a red colour, obviously for the heart. And before I move on, I'm going to create the outline as well. So go to the Create Layouts tool palette. Go to Create Outlines and Offsets. We'll Object Outline, triple run, and we'll go for the hatch default of black. There we go. Now I want to add in these highlights, so these pink highlights. So I am going to do that with the digitizing tools. And I'm going to do it, I think, as a freehand closed shape. I'm going to leave tatami as my stitch type, and with effects I'm going to feather the edge, both edges in fact, and we'll see how it turns out. So you can see how my crosshair has changed a little bit. Basically what I want to do is just click, drag until I'm happy, and then reverse that and come all the way up. Okay, that's not bad. Might go back in and change a couple of things. I've got the smoothing set to 100% by the way. Okay, let's take a look. Just going to make some changes to some of these nodes. Stitch angle's fine, but I just want to try and follow this curve a little bit more. Got a few too many curves in here, so I'm just deleting a couple wherever necessary, or wherever I feel is necessary. Just bringing that down and across a bit. Now I think the feathering is a little bit too deep, so I'm going to reduce that a little bit. And up here. And what I'm also going to do is turn off the underlay, increase the spacing, and turn off travel on edge. There we go, that should work. I'm going to give that a pink feel. In fact, that's a bit too pink. So from my threads, I will choose a lighter pink. And the same for that one as well. Okay, so that's good. Let's have a look at how we're getting on. Yep, we're getting on fine. Let's just zoom out a little bit more. Now the next job is to digitize the banner. Obviously the heart and the outline are in the way, so I'm going to select all of those and hide them, and then going to digitize. This time I'm going to use the digitize blocks option. So I've selected that. I'm going to choose contour stitch, change some of the parameters here. in fact just the spacing, and I'm going to choose a white thread. So what I'm going to do is start here, click once, come down here, click again, and then this little tail that comes out is going to come down here, and then I'm basically going top and bottom and just trying to follow the, or what I think looks like the actual curve of the banner. And then when I get to the end, click, hit enter, and you see how that now follows that curve. I'm going to go into reshape a little bit though and move a couple of these things around just so that I'm happy with how things look. Yes, I think that will work well. I'm going to use the create layouts to do an outline again, this time as a single run. I think that should work. Now I just need to do these little bits in here. So if I zoom in, I'm going to digitize those using the freehand closed shape with a tatami fill, and I'll choose the same grey that I chose earlier for the other object, and I'm just going to create that. Okay, that didn't work, so I'm going to use the digitized closed shapes. See if that makes a difference. Yes, it did. Now the effects are still there, so I need to get rid of those. That's good. And then I need to go and do the other one. Good. Now those I do need to send back up the stack so they look like they're behind. And I also need to do an extension of this border. So I will freehand open shape, choose the black color, freehand open shape, choose the black color. Single run. Didn't keep my color choice, so I'll just change that there. Same again here. Okay, so let's unhide all of the things. see how we're getting on. Let me just hide artwork. Okay, I think that's good. Now, in a moment I am going to add the text, but before I do that, I'm going to go and select the banner, and from my edit toolbox, choose remove overlaps. And that's going to punch a hole through the heart, ouch, and through the background, which is good. Now for the text. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to select everything and lock it. And then from the lettering, we are going to type true love. We're going to choose a different font. I think I'll go for the Valentine. Change the colour. And I just need to reduce that size a bit, I think. That's it. Now, from the baseline, choose any shape. And then I'm going to zoom in, hit the reshape button, then right click on the baseline and just move that and that so that it kind of follows that curve a little bit. And I've done a couple of other nodes because this obviously is not a uniform curve. And if I need to change any of the individual letters, I would just click on one of these purple dots until it turns blue, find the little circle, move my cursor over that, and then change the angle of that letter. I think that looks okay, but I'm just going to individually change this E at the end. So I need that, and then this circle. That looks a bit better. Okay, we're going to unlock everything and just make sure that we're sequencing okay. So that's the first. I'll move that down. Okay, I think that's ready to stitch out. Let's just run it through the stitch player to make sure that it's going to work, basically, or at least will stitch out in the order I'm expecting. So it will be the background first, then the heart, then the border, the highlight, banner. I've just noticed this little tiny bit down here is a bit pointless, so I will get rid of that. And then finally the text. Okay, that works. So I'm just going to go and find that little pointless pink thing, get rid of it, and there we go. Now I will delete the what did I just delete? Hopefully nothing important. Unhide all and delete that layer. So that's got rid of the artwork. Now what I need to do is get that across to my embroidery machine, so I would export design. Obviously I would always recommend saving it as an EMB file as well, as you can then come back to it and edit it further. And of course you can save out any of the other information that you need. You would then stitch the design out as normal, following the colour sequence you established in the Hatch embroidery digitizing software. Then trim it down to size according to the aperture of the card that you're using. Stick it inside the frame and apply some foam tape, and then place that on the front of your greetings card. I hope you'll enjoy making your own version of this for your special chosen loved one.